Hi there, it's Denise Beatty with the Fitness Fix. I want to talk to you today about stretching and what it does, and also a way to improve your range of motion without stretching. So now when you're stretching, I want you to be aware that sometimes muscles are actually tight to protect a joint. And the reason why you feel like you need to stretch is because those muscles are so tight, like your chest, maybe your back, your hip flexors. People are constantly reaming on these muscles. That muscle has tightened. It might be weak where it can't fully contract or fully release. It might not be getting a great signal from the spine or from the neck. And it also might be tightening to protect an unstable area. So if you force that to let go, did you make that area more stable or possibly less stable? So we're going to think about two different concepts. One's called reciprocal inhibition, which means if you contract your biceps, it's actually your body signaling the triceps to let go on the back of your arms. If you contract your triceps fully, you're signaling your biceps to let go. So that's one of the concepts we'll work on to help you. The other concept is strengthening a muscle, getting a full contraction when it's shortened and when it's lengthened, so you can actually control your range of motion. If I can only lift my leg to here, but somebody's forcing me to move further, then I don't have control in that range. So if you passively stretch someone, if you move their arm into position that they can't move themselves, they're not stable in that range. So I want you to start moving in ranges that you can control. One example is for your chest. So if you were doing a doorway stretch, quite often the first thing you feel is a tug in your chest. So we'll try that with one arm up on the wall. So you have one arm up. If I turn away right now, I can just feel a little bit of stretch across my chest and the front of my shoulder. Now, if I contract the muscles between my shoulder blades, then right now I feel a complete release in the front, but I'm contracting along the back of my right shoulder blade. Now my chest muscle is lengthened, and I'm going to hold my abs in, contract my chest, and pull my arm into the wall. So I've contracted the reciprocal inhibition by contracting the opposing muscle. I've opened up that joint a bit more, and now I'm holding my abs in and I'm pulling into the wall. I'm driving my elbow into the wall. So now I'm strengthening through my back and my chest in this range. Now I can also keep that contraction and turn all the way towards my arm to get a really good contraction where the chest muscle is fully shortened. When it's fully shortened, then it gets a better contraction overall. Then it can fully release, and I can repeat, contract between my shoulder blades, feel under my right shoulder blade, and then push into the wall. So now you'll notice if you go to do a doorway stretch, you might feel like this is released, but we didn't just force it to release, we just made it stronger in that range. You can repeat the same thing on the other side. Another common exercise is to do lots of ankle stretching, like calf stretching and other things like that. So first I'd like you to balance both sides of your ankle in case you've ever sprained your ankle. So if you've rolled your ankle, chances are you might be a little bit loose here, but you might not be stable there. So what you could do is open up your ankle as much as possible, imagining there's a dot underneath your ankle bone. Now keep that open. Now you're going to keep your toes down and push the outside of your foot into the ground. So my ankle is open and I'm creating force there. So now I'm generating some tension in those little nerve receptors and helping my foot feel where it is. This can really help with past breaks or ankle sprains. You can bring it back in. You can do the same thing inwards. So I'm opening the inside of my ankle joint and then pushing the arch of my foot into the ground. Then you also want to get the top of the ankle. So if you pull the foot underneath you, I'm opening the top of my ankle joint and contracting the back muscle. So there's that reciprocal inhibition again of contracting my calves and my Achilles, my arch. Part one, part two, push into the ground. Each part you can hold for about 5 seconds, contract the back, and then push into the front. So now the other little part is that calf stretch that we tend to do. So if you're really bending into that leg, say on a stair or even on the ground, what I'm doing here is I'm contracting the front of all the muscles across the front of my ankle to pull my knee over my second toe. That's part one. And part two, and that's reciprocal inhibition, because I'm contracting here to release back here, release the Achilles and the plantar fascia. Now I'm pushing into the ground like a gas pedal, and I can feel my arches working. I can feel, the lengthened calf start contracting from here. Then you can contract the front and then push into the ground. You can do the same thing with the straight leg. I'm almost trying to lift my foot off the ground, part one, and then I push into the ground, part two. You could do this on a stair as well. Then you could, of course, go right into a full range and get a full contract at the top and all the way down. So there's millions of ways you can do this, but I want you to start thinking of contracting in these tight ranges and long ranges and make your joints more stable, not less stable. Then you have control through those ranges and way less chance of injury. Stay tuned in because I'm going to show you a lot of options for hips and neck and back and everything as we go. Take care and have a great day.